Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So today in this short video tutorial, we are going to explore a very interesting data partitioning mechanism, and that is vertical partitioning. But before jumping into vertical partitioning, let us quickly have a recap on the common partitioning what we generally apply on our big data world, that is horizontal partitioning. That is, suppose we are having some demographic or geographic data related to certain country. Now instead of putting whole country data in single S3 location, what we can do, we can split the data based on states. These are called partitions based on state level, and within state we can further partition the data based on city. And now suppose we are only interested to get the demographic data related to city 2, we can apply a simple query like select star from S3 path where state equal to state 1 and city equal to city 2. Now that time Spark or any advanced query execution engine will go to directly state 1 partition, and within that it will go to city 2 partition. It will not be scanning other partitions like city 1 within state 1 or city 3 within state 2 or any other partitions, right? So due to this kind of arrangement in partitioned format, the overall volume of data scanning gets reduced. As a result, the query performance gets increased, right? So in short, we can say in horizontal partitioning, we divide the table into smaller tables based on rows to improve the query performance. As simple as that. And also one more point to highlight, that suppose we are interested in CT6 data. Now complete column information for a specific row will be there within this partition only, right? Suppose for example we are having the data like user ID, then name, then phone number, and then state and city. It is not like user ID and name will be there within this partition and other columns will be there in some other partition. All the columns from a specific row will be there in a single partition in case of horizontal partitioning. That is pretty much obvious, right? Now with this understanding, let us try to understand vertical partitioning. So let's consider a real world use case for vertical partitioning, and that can be clickstream data analytics. Okay, whenever any user visit our mobile application or website, that time several events get captured based on user activities, whether user is clicking some link or visiting some page, right? Based on that, we are having different SaaS applications which capture those data and maybe share to a Kafka cluster within our company. So from input location, suppose this kind of clickstream data is coming where it is having event ID, one primary key or unique identifier for some specific event. User ID is basically unique identifier for that user. Address is basically from where user is operating our application or website. City information may contain the city from where user is residing, and what action user has done, for example click or visit activity, something like that, and then visited page, which page the user has visited. So this is general template for any clickstream event, and Adobe or such softwares are sending this data in our Kafka cluster. From Kafka cluster we are dumping the data in S3 data lake, on top of which we can create delta table and so on. Okay, now try to understand one problem associated with this kind of events if we simply dump the data in our data lake, and that is related to data privacy. So for example, if the user is opting for deleting all the PII information from our company, that time because the events and the user PII information like address, city, or maybe phone number all are available in same row within our data lake, the user PII information deletion itself will be a very complex operation, right? Because if you think once that this is complete row, then you need to go each row by row and then detect those specific columns which might have PII and then delete those from data lake, which can be a pretty complex operation. So I hope you are getting this, that if we are putting user PII along with our business specific events which are non-PII, for example visited page or event ID or action, these are non-PII, right? So non-PII and PII data are mixed here. As a result, if user opt for his or her PII deletion from our company, that will be little complex operation. And also there is another disadvantage might be associated if we directly dump this data in our data lake, and that is accidental overwrite. For example, if that particular S3 location is accessible to different teams and some team by mistake write the data using overwrite format from PySpark, then whole data will be gone. Not only our clickstream data, but vital user informations will also be getting washed away, right? So these are the two risks associated with simply dumping the data in our data lake. One is removal of PII data is complex, another one is data loss due to accidental overwrite. Correct? Now to solve this particular problem, we are having vertical partitioning. So what is vertical partitioning? It is like segregate the PII and non-PII information, or segregate the event related data or clickstream data and the PII data before dumping into data lake directly, and write those two dataset in different location. For example, we can have one folder with event data within a S3 bucket, and we can have PII data another folder within the same S3 bucket, right? In the event data, we will write only the event related information or non-PII data. For example, event ID, user ID, action and visited page, which are completely related to business purpose. And in another folder which is having name PII data, there will be writing user related information like user ID, address, city, this kind of personally identifiable information we can write in PII data folder. Okay, and if at all we need to perform such analytics where users PII is also needed, we can simply perform join between these two delta tables which can be created on top of two folders, and based on user ID we can join and we can get the complete data. Not at all a problem, right? Now observe what advantage we can get if we partition the data like this. The advantage is if user opt for his or her PII removal, it will be very simple. Only on top of this delta table, we need to apply a delete query where user ID equal to 30. That way data will be simply deleted. In case of horizontal partitioning, it was very complex because PII and event data all we were putting in same location, but because now we are normalizing the data and writing in different locations, all PII data related to a specific user available in one place, so data delete operation will be very easy in this case, right? This is nothing but vertical partitioning. So in short, we can say vertical partitioning is nothing but dividing data based on columns. In case of horizontal partitioning, we were dividing data based on rows. Similar rows we were putting in same location, but here we are dividing the data based on column. It is not like within this event data partition, the complete information is available. If you recall our horizontal partitioning example, there I have mentioned that within a single partition related to that specific event, complete information will be there or all the columns will be there. But in this case, some columns are available in one partition, some columns are available in another partition, right? So that's why partition dependency is there, and as a result, we might need to perform a join between them. So this is nothing but vertical partitioning, which is very useful, especially for data privacy related use cases. If your company is considering, like for example, financial sector or healthcare sector, there this kind of partitioning strategy is followed. So the advantage, as we discussed, PII data removal is very easy, but the little bit disadvantage is if we want complete information, we need to join between two separate partition. As a result, the query can go little complex because of join operation, and it might take little longer time because join between two big dataset can often take long time, right? So this is all about vertical partitioning related to data security, what I wanted to cover in this video. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you for watching.